What's good? What's the deal? It is your boy, your host, Lex Black. You're tuning into my show, Midnight Arcade. This is episode 40, and oh man, honestly, after starting this show a couple years ago, I didn't think I'd get this far this quickly because I was planning on going at a much slower pace, and I know a lot of content creators put out videos, like 2 or 3 videos a day. I'm a full-time family man. I am a one-man band, as I always say. So the fact that I got this far, I'm patting myself on the back. So yeah, man, I'm very happy to be here. Very happy to have my 40th episode. I'm definitely celebrating that. Before y'all do anything else, make sure you do this. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified for whenever I drop that new heat. You heard? Yes, sir. Today we're going to be tuning into Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 6. Things have been on fire since Chapter 1 came out. You guys, as I've said many a time before, for those of you who have been following me, you know I am a very vociferous critic of the Boruto series, and I have been very loud with the things that I do not like about the series, anime and manga, primarily manga. This is the material I've been covering. But 2 Blue Vortex, and you can tell when Kishimoto has his hands on the product. You can just tell. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave that there. But we're gonna get into chapter 6, man. Let's get right into it. So here we go. And here we are. We have Mr. Shikamaru on the cover here. Hokage Shikamaru. We'll save it to the afterthoughts of the show. All right, here we go. Okay, 2 Blue Vortex, Okay, Trader Boruto, Why has he returned when he knows we want him dead for having killed the Hokage? Shikamaru speaking with him. Shikamaru says his motive is unknown, but looking at the results, it's undeniable that code was only driven off with Boruto's help. So the man that's been, before I read any further, guys, mind you, I have not read this, so I have no idea what's going on. I have done everything that I could to avoid the spoilers on Twitter, aka X, and all the other social media platforms, Discord and everything. And so I have no pretext, as I always say. So the fact that Shikamaru is already talking, he's just going off for proof. But this is the other thing with Shikamaru. He is a fact-based person. A lot of y'all need to take some notes on that. But he is a fact-based person. And if the facts show that X is X, Y is Y, and Z is Z, he's gonna go off of that. He's very pragmatic and practical in that sense. So let's continue. It is undeniable that code was only driven off with Boruto's help, and he hasn't reappeared since. Other village elder says no matter the circumstances, Boruto at the very least must be eliminated. That's no surprise. Shinjutsu in effect, right? The issue reflects on Konoha's honor, especially in regards to the attempted murder of Uzumaki Kawaki. Man, just the way how that rolls off the tongue just feels just disgusting. Anyway, the Daimyo are all beyond furious. Never mind the next fiscal budget. The continued existence of our village is in danger. Yes, I am aware. So with your leave, says Shikamaru. And then he starts to walk off, and then the elders call out to him. They say, Shikamaru. He stops. And then they speak again. It has been 3 years, the period you yourself designated. Stop dallying and formally accept the title of Lord Eighth. You're weakening our position not just with the Land of Fire, but the other villages as well. Shikamaru says nothing. And then he says, I shall report in again soon. Have a good day. So he leaves that conversation, at least to us, the readers, inconclusive. He doesn't really say anything definitive outside of, I'll just check in with y'all, man. Rain check, right? So there's a scene back in the Hokage's office, and he's sitting there and he's smoking a cig. Shout out to Azuma. RIP to the real. There's a knock on the door. Enter. It is Ino. I brought what you asked for, Shikamaru. Here's the data. And he says, thanks for the personal delivery. Ino asks, why did you want it? This mission's logs from so long ago. Shikamaru says, well, call it curiosity. Thank you, Ino. You can go now. Ino is looking at her former teammate. She knows something's up. She's mum on the matter. She's thinking on it. She's pensive. She's walking off. Let's rewind a couple of steps here. I don't want to gloss over the most important point here. The village elders literally just told Shikamaru, stop dilly-dallying and claim yourself as the 8th Hokage. Now, why would they ask that? Why would they say that? Why would they say that? They said specifically, this is the 3-year period has gone on now. I think it's well established. You need to claim your title as 8th Hokage. This is why his visage was not on the Hokage monument. This answers a lot of unanswered questions, right? So, but why did they say this, guys? It's because deep down inside, much to my surprise, because I was starting to really doubt Shikamaru's level of intelligence and instinct that's tied deeply to his intelligence, right? I was starting to really doubt the Shikamaru that I came up knowing, right? But this kind of lends credence to the contrary, because the fact that he has not formally accepted the 8th Hokage position tells me something. It tells me that he knows something is off. And even if he can't put his finger on it with the Shinjutsu, he knows something isn't right, and he knows that something isn't adding up, and that Naruto just being off like that, even without Kurama, is nah, son, nah. Probably one of the thoughts that went on in his head and has continued to go on in his head is, nah, man, my big dog ain't go out like that. No, something is amiss. Just like the other geniuses in this series have pointed out ever so poignantly. Sasuke, right? Amado. And I really wish they'd put a panel on Orochimaru, because I'm sure that he thought of this too, in some semblance, right? All of those guys, Orochimaru excluded because he hasn't been on panel, on screen. They've all come to the conclusion that something is off. Something is clearly off, guys. And the smartest characters are showing why they are the smartest characters in the series, because they're like, man, this doesn't feel right. Shikamaru has just not voiced his doubts because he's trying to keep everything together, as one with that level of understanding should do, right? So salute to Shikamaru for doing that, because I was throwing some doubt his way. So anyway, let's read on. And I guess, contacts him telepathically. The log was just an excuse, right? And then she says, so tell me, what is this really about? Shikamaru telepathically or sub-vocalizes, and he says, I don't want the sensory unit listening. Smart. Nor Ada, Kawaki, or Amado either. In fact, don't let anyone else in on this convo. Okay, but yeah. Says, sorry, but it depends on the content. You know that off-the-record transmissions are a violation of regulations. Konoha's safety hinges on this, says Shikamaru. Do as I say or else we're done here. So he's basically, before I read on, guys, he's basically saying, yo, what's up, man? We got a problem? It's me. This is Inashika Cho. What's going on here? Do we have an issue? You know my work. You know what I'm about. You know how I give it up. So what's up with this? If I'm contacting you about something and I'm doing it off the books and I'm doing it in a particular way, you gotta know what's up, man. Why are you questioning me? It's me. So I feel him on that. Let's read on. Ino takes his words to heart, thinks on it, and then she says, yeesh, fine. What do you want me to do? Okay, as she should. She's a rider. Okay, we skip to the next scene. This bitch ass right here. That terrible haircut. Lord have mercy. Get him a barber. 10 tails that have developed self-awareness, Kawaki is saying. Ada says, that's right. I don't know how or why they got that way, but they are evolving into a completely different being than they normally would, Kawaki thinks. And then he says, what about Code? I thought that bastard was controlling them. Ada says, Code's run off somewhere. They're now out of his league anyway. That just lets you know the severity of the situation. We all know the power scaling and how Code compares to Jigen and how it compares to Ishiki, Code Unlimited, so on and so forth. We don't have to go over that again, but the fact that Ada is saying that the Shinju are out of Code's league, heavy. It's heavy. She says they're out of his league anyway. They're monsters. Plus, the troubling thing is that they're not just after Otsutsuki like you and Boruto. Kawaki's like, oh shit. And Damon's like, huh? Ada continues and says, for whatever reason, they want to kill 7th Hokage. Kawaki don't like that. If it's one thing he really don't like aside from Otsutsuki is anybody threatening Lord 7th. It's why this piece of shit went through these lengths to set things up this way. It's the reason why the world is the way it is now. It's all to protect the only person who first showed care for this man in Lord 7th. So you know he's not going to take kindly to that. And Ada says, and me as well. Kawaki said, my lord. He says, why Lord 7th? What exactly are these bastards after? And the look on Ada's face is like, yo, are you serious? Yo, they're threatening my life, yo. And you don't give not an iota of a fuck at all. This is the chick that's been crushing on Kawaki for all this time. And this man shows zero regard for her. Only Lord 7th. Damon's chewing and looking along. Ada's kind of taken aback by the reaction, naturally, right? And then she says, that I can't tell yet. Because, excuse me, let's double back. Kawaki says, why Lord Seventh? What exactly are these bastards after? To which Ada responds and says, I can't tell yet. I'm not sure, basically. Kawaki says, no matter. Lord Seventh is in my hands. Yeah, we'll see how far that goes and how long that goes for. Whatever these things are, I'll get rid of them. All of them. Ada is still pensive. Damon says, hey, Kawaki. He looks on. Boruto and Sasuke are the only ones other than us who know the Hokage is alive, right? Kawaki looks on. And though no one's likely to believe those two because they're considered criminals, if those claw grind monsters come here looking for the Hokage, wouldn't someone eventually figure out that you lied? Kawaki sits on that. And you know Damon don't care. Let me stop here for a second. You know Damon don't care because up to this point, frustratingly so, Damon has been spoken up and talked up as this really overly freaking powerful being, right? So to speak to that, you could tell by his demeanor that he's not worried about pissing off Kawaki because he's like, what's up, man? Like, yeah, I'm gonna poke and prod you. What you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? You? Yeah, all right. So anyway, let's read on. I just noticed that little, even though it's a manga and I'm reading off the text, what I'm gathering from his demeanor as he's eating, the casual demeanor with which he's delivering that matter-of-fact statement, he's just like, yeah, so you know, you know, like, not that I really care about what happens to you, right? That's what he's saying. Unlike Big Sis. Again, Ada steps in and says, stop it, Damon, because she knows Damon is poking and prodding him. He's trying to get a reaction out of Kawaki because he's itching for a fight. You could tell. So Ada says, stop it, Damon. Don't say such things. Kawaki just sits there. He gets up, gets frustrated, and then he walks off. Ada calls after him, Kawaki, where are you going? He says, leave me alone. Just spy on me if you want to know. Oh my God. Oh, I'm sure Ada's little, how old is she now? 19 at this point? Or 16? I know, correct me in the comments, is she 16 or 19? Is she 16 after the 3-year skip, or is she not? I don't know if she was 16 at the end of part 1, or guys, correct me in the comment section. Either way, her little teenage heart is all broken up at how he's treating her, right? So he says, just spy on me if you want to know, leave me alone, yada, yada, yada. Puts on his jacket, she's looking on, and Mitsuki's there. And he's sitting there and he's pensive and then Kawaki says, God, you're so annoying. You're all so annoying. And Mitsuki says, it's my job to guard you and Ada. If you have a problem with it, take it up with Lord Eighth again. And then Kawaki says, don't shift the blame, you hangnail. Let's jump back to chapter 1 of Two Blue Vortex. Mitsuki already has doubts, whether he wants to believe it or not. He's one of the other people who is questioning things. He already has doubts about Kawaki. Kawaki does himself no favors by being an ass in every personal transgression, every personal interaction with all the people that come on, you know? So yes, there is the effect of the Shinjutsu continuing to stay in the memory banks of everyone, and the longer it stays there, the more convinced that people are that the Shinjutsu is the actual history of things that have happened. But when Kawaki is continuously acting like the ass that he is, it's going to continue to open up, you know, cast webs of doubt throughout everyone. They're gonna be like, I don't remember Boruto or the Lord Seven's son being like this. Anyway, just a thought. We'll read on. Now we're to the important part here. Boruto with Sumire and Sarada. Sarada sitting down. They all sitting down, thinking about yeah, she crushing on him. And he crushing on her. You could tell they feeling each other. Yeah, it's like that. And then she even, you know, internally muses at such, saying, I didn't mean to throw myself at him like that. What should I do? There's so many things I want to ask, but I don't know how to start things off now. Let's shoot her some bail. This is the person that she's always cared about the most. Let's shoot her some bail. This is the person that she's always cared about the most, the person that she's considered closest to her aside from her mother, and then her father, of course, and everything else like that. And obviously she has feelings for him, and she hasn't seen him in 3 years, and all the things that she knows that he's gone through, at least from what she understood from her perspective, and everything that she's gone through herself. Of course she's gonna throw herself at him like that. She shouldn't be embarrassed at that, but you know, teenage awkwardness. Anyway, so Sumire is looking on. She can tell, you can tell just by that expression that she knows that they feel in each other and she's kind of out of the equation. Third wheel. Sumire says, it's been 3 years, right, Boruto? I'm glad you look well. He says, yeah, ditto, class rep. Same for you, Sarada. We can't gloss over that. How you gonna call Sumire class rep when he know her name? So I know Sumire has some type of feelings about that. Then he says, same for you, Sarada, though I never imagined you'd jump at me like that. And she's shocked. She says, can you blame me? Do you know how worried I've been? What did I say a few minutes ago? Boruto says, true. I'm so relieved you're okay, the both of you. They look on. Sumire says, but Boruto, are you sure you should linger here? And Boruto says, I've erased my chakra signature. The sensory unit won't detect me, but I'm sure Kawaki will notice at some point, so I don't have much time. I came here to tell you about Sasuke. Sarada looks on. She asks, did something happen to my dad? Sumire looks on as well, and Boruto says, Master was absorbed by the Ten Tails. Kawaki's looking on. Mitsuki notices. Kawaki says, I feel it. Boruto's presence. He's here. Mitsuki is plotting. Snake slips out back to Boruto. Sarada asks, absorbed? You mean he's turned into a tree? And Boruto says, yeah, Master sacrificed himself to let me escape. So it's my fault he got taken down. The girls look on. A lot of villagers were attacked by claw grime, and they became trees too, Sumire says. What's up with that anyway? Why are they devouring those who aren't Otsutsuki? Great question. Boruto says, the fundamental purpose of Ten Tails has always been to devour chakra of any kind instinctually, and then to eventually devour an Otsutsuki, whose chakra transforms that Ten Tails into a divine tree. That's how it's supposed to go. Sarada asks, supposed to? Boruto says, for whatever reason, they've already started evolving into divine trees. We get a panel back at the Hokage's office. Mitsuki says, he's contacting them. He says, incoming Mitsuki for Lord 8th from the comms unit. Connecting them now. Shikamaru says, Mitsuki, what is it? Mitsuki says, Boruto is here, somewhere in the village. Kawaki picked up his aura just now. Shikamaru says, he didn't trip the sensory net, so he can erase his chakra signature now, like Kawaki. Mitsuki says he's got to be towards the south. Could you please ask Ada to pinpoint his exact location? Shikamaru says, hold on, Mitsuki. Where's Kawaki? Mitsuki says, I will head to where Boruto is. Remember, Boruto can detect Kawaki's aura too. Kawaki isn't suited for pursuing Boruto. He'd be altered as soon as Kawaki got near. But he's saying this as he snuck Kawaki. Oh, Mitsuki's on some shit. So he's plotting because, he's feeding into his bloodlust. Okay, so, we know what he want to do. He want to square up with Boruto, right? I mean, he doesn't want Kawaki to get in the way. Mitsuki has been thirsting for this fight for the past 3 years. So Kawaki got slept on Mitsuki. Mitsuki's plotting. He says, please hurry, Lord 8th. I don't want to lose him. Shikamaru's thinking about it. I don't know if he caught on to it or not, but either way. Sumire asks, what do you mean? They've already started evolving? Boruto says, I don't know exactly how or why, but there's a strong possibility that Ko's chakra is affecting them via the claw grime. Sarada says code, and Boruto says he may not be an Otsutsuki, but he's got a karma that came from Ishiki, which is a lump of Otsutsuki essence, so it having some effect wouldn't be a surprise. Sumire looks on. Karma internally in his head, it's Shikamaru, Boruto. And Boruto is like, huh? And then Shikamaru says, I'm using mind transfer jutsu. Answer without speaking aloud. Try not to change expressions either. Boruto says, old man Shikamaru? Shikamaru says, let me say this right off. The sensory unit is not involved at all. Yamanaka Ino personally connected us on a private line. It's an unofficial transmission that won't be logged. Ino is seen showing the hand seal for a jutsu. Boruto, hey there. Hello, are you listening? The girls are trying to get his attention. I hear you've become Hokage, Boruto says. So are you sure you should be doing this? Some call me Lord 8th, but it's only out of convenience. I'm still only interim Hokage. I haven't formally assumed the title yet, because Naruto's his dog. He's not just gonna, like I said before earlier in the show. Let's read on. Boruto says, that ain't what I asked. And on what basis should I trust you? Boruto standing on business. I love it. Shikamaru says, just quit arguing and get out of there to start. You're about to have company. Boruto looks on. Mitsuki snuck Boruto. Snake wrapped around Boruto. Everybody shocked. And Boruto does some sort of maneuvering. Sends his sword out and does flying Raijin. Teleports to his sword, gets out of Mitsuki's grip. He lands, he looks on. Mitsuki is in sage mode and he's thirsty for battle. Boruto says, Mitsuki? And Mitsuki says, we finally meet again, Boruto. I've been waiting for this moment. Sarada says, Mitsuki, wait, listen to me. Mitsuki says, I don't know what lies he's fed you, but move aside, Sarada. Right now, I can't control my strength.
Mitsuki!
Sarada yells out. Mitsuki he don't give a fuck. He wants to scrap. He wants to squab. That's what he wants. He wants to fight. The fight takes place. Immediately, Boruto does, as he's holding the sword, he does some hand seals. Single-handedly, even though he doesn't have to, but he's skilled enough, like his mentor. Purple lightning. Interesting. He learned that from Kakashi Sensei. Cuts up the snakes, striking shadow snake assault. And a whole leap of snakes come from the ground to shoot up at Boruto. Boruto jumps into the air, and he is levitating. He is Otsutsuki after all. The girls look on. Mitsuki says, "Gah, Otsutsuki bastard." Boruto is literally floating upside down, and he's sheathing his sword. Boruto says, "Sarada, I swear to rescue Master Sasuke, everyone else who was turned into trees," as well as Sarada and Sumire look on. Boruto doesn't say anything. Sarada looks on and says, "Nope, never mind, I'll be back." Boruto flies off. Sarada looks on at Boruto flying off, so does Sumire. Mitsuki looks on as well. Boruto is shown flying. Boruto says, "If you really wanted to talk to me, you could have made it so we wouldn't be interrupted like that." Old man, eighth, and I know he said that with dripping sarcasm. Shikamaru says, "Konoha is bent on eliminating you, whatever the cost, and it's not just the village elders, the entire land of fire is in agreement. Thus, it would look out of place for me as Hokage to stop Mitsuki." "Saving your own skin, huh? What exactly are you aiming to do?" Boruto asks in reply. Shikamaru says, "There are certain things I can see and do simply because I'm Hokage. So while I can't aid you openly, there are things I can do to support you in my own way. Plus, I want your help." Okay, plain language. I like this. Okay. Boruto says, "No thanks." Shikamaru says, "Wait, hear me out. You're You're actually Uzumaki Boruto, aren't you? The intelligence, what did I say earlier in the show? What did I say earlier in the show? Good, I'm glad. You can tell when Kishimoto takes the reins, things just change in the way that they're supposed to." Ino is listening in on this conversation and Boruto says nothing. And Shikamaru says, "And I apologize because though I say that, I'm still having trouble accepting the notion myself. In fact, it didn't even occur to me until Amado brought it up, that my own memories might be fabricated." Ino is shocked. It's a far-fetched theory, but things start falling into place. Things make sense when you flip your position, and Kawaki's, yes! Finally! Ino says, "What the heck? Is he being serious?" Shikamaru says, "So tell me the truth, Boruto." Boruto says nothing. He lands. He's looking on. Boruto says, "I've traveled quite a long way from the village. I should be beyond Kawaki's range now. How far does the mind transfer jutsu reach?" Shikamaru thinks, and then he says, "In Ino's case, I think about 100 kilometers around the village. Why?" Boruto says, "I hate to break this off, but I've got a loose end to tie up. A snake was implanted on Boruto. Mitsuki found him." Mitsuki's good. He's good. Boruto looks on. Mitsuki charges him. Boruto says, "Sorry, but I'm gonna have to get a little rough with it." "I'm gonna have to get a little rough with you, Mitsuki." To be continued. Wow, guys. This was a good episode. Again, this is the 6th time I've been saying this. 6 issues in a row, and the shit has been fire. Absolute fire. So there's so many questions to be had. I want to sit on this chapter. I'm going to have a post questions. I might do it in a YouTube short because I'm going to be taking a hiatus because I am busy, man. I'm working on the 3rd book of my series, my cyberpunk fantasy trilogy, Neon District. The book is called Influx. I'm hard at work. I'm currently on, well, funny enough, this is the 3rd time around that I started writing this book. Last iteration, I got to chapter 16, and then I said, this don't feel right. So I scrapped it. So I started it over again, and I'm at chapter 14 now, and it's going pretty well. So that's been holding my attention quite a bit. I might take a little bit of time in between episodes or whatever have you, but be sure to tune in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified for whenever I drop that new heat. You heard, yes sir. What do you think of this chapter? How do you think the fight's gonna go? I can tell you really quick what I think. Boruto's gonna dog walk Mitsuki, okay? He's gonna dog walk him. Mitsuki might come with some surprises, might come with some techniques and jutsu that Boruto wasn't expecting. Obviously, the 3-year time skip, Mitsuki's been training hard. He's kind of a prodigy himself. So I'm sure the fight is gonna be interesting for a second until Boruto gets serious. And then he's like, all right, man, I'm gonna have to put you down real quick because, nah, you're not on my level, right? Boruto was toying with code in a sadistic way on business. So Mitsuki, yeah, fodder. I think that Boruto's gonna, entertain him a little bit, see what he can do, get some intel on his friend, new techniques, compliment him in the middle of the battle and say, wow, you got really strong. And then he's gonna, real quick, and then he's gonna dip. And then he's gonna probably get back in contact with Shikamaru. I'm really proud of Shikamaru, dog, because for a while, my man was straying from the path. He really was. But the fact that he's held down the seat for his boy, because he knows, even without Amado confirming things, he knew that something was amiss. And then on top of that, that following his intuition, using his common sense and his high IQ, then he made the connections. And then he said, yo, you Boruto Uzumaki, aren't you? And he made the point to say, I'm fighting my own memories, but it all makes sense. The Shinjutsu ain't that strong. I've been telling y'all this from the jump, from when it happened, right? I've been telling y'all this. Doubt is the ultimate key to dismantling the Shinjutsu. Doubt. It's that simple. Doubt and some common sense. Anyway, make sure you tune into the show. I hope you enjoyed it, man. This is episode 40. We're gonna come back with season 5 of Midnight Arcade. I am amped. See y'all.